This dude. Here we go again. Bandwagon Bright in the building. What is going on, man?
BWB in the building, Brody.
That don't even make no sense. Bruh, what you got behind you, man? Let me see that. Let me just show it off.
Hey, man, I mean, I always have representation upon just coming on this platform, and this form of representation is one given to it's KY till I die. So Shea Gilkes Alexander, one of my underrated cats, Rock BBN, a 4-star Canadian guy that was just not really highly touted. And then this other guy, Mr. Sam Presti, who is the best GM in the NBA, not just because of this year's success, but thinking about the market that he's in and how he's been able to accumulate 3 MVPs on that time frame, and to not have that city be a quote unquote sports city and a market city to do what he's done. And last but not least, he gave B Wright a shot. Yes, Glenn Wong, his personal assistant, and I were talking back and forth when I was aspiring to be a scout, and the man's got a heart of gold. I wish to see him again and get back on that track. But yeah, he gave me my first shot and my first confidence, bro, of being an NBA scout. So it's not, this representation is like on some homage, bro. Straight up.
Hey, that you a bandwagon OKC fan now.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Come on, we did this.
Oh man,
I'm
yeah,
rooting. I'm rooting.
glazing.
Whatever. Hey, that's what. Hey, is that a? That's not a fact. That's not a fact. I'm not glazing. I'm just representing.
So man, let me ask you, man, how do you feel that your other team, your most recent, your childhood? I mean, how do you feel about the Knicks getting knocked off, man?
I'm just gonna say this, man. After that first 20-point debacle, that first game, and they blew it like that, bro. After that, I mean, I pretty much knew it was over. But I want to say after that game, we didn't know that they was going to lose their coach. That was the game they lost their coach. They lost the series, but they lost their coach.
What,
And that's,
what game did they lose you as a fan?
bruh. I mean, we both had them winning. And I mean, I had them winning. Brunson, like I said, he was the nicest guy I felt like as far as being active in that dog that was emerging and going to get it. I mean, but bro, when you think about just how the dude got out coached, bro. Like, respectfully, his players still gave it up. But I'm going to just say this, putting on the coaching cap, bro. When they were pressing you and you were down, you should have had dribblers and defenders out there. Like they could only shoot threes and foul you, and he didn't make his lineup small enough to put McBride out there quick enough, Payne out there quick enough, and they just trapped Brunson and made turnovers. And I mean, just the attention to detail. There's no way that I'm, sit up there and say it's all Thibodeau's fault for allowing those guys to let Naismith beat them like he did. But that game one was a debacle, and it was a lot to do with the players, but it was a lot to do with the players he had out there. He should have, in hindsight, you can always say he should have had different players, but he should have had more guards and, just something that was more strategic as a coach, man. Thibodeau didn't seem to make adjustments outside of substituting Robinson game 3 after they were down 0-2, and then they won game 3. But still, I think it was just a little, you know, just a piece of evidence where I feel like Rick Carlisle got him on the coaching, big dog. What you think?
I think that whoever comes in better be able to do better about holding Cat accountable than Thibodeau did, because what I saw was a lack of effort on defense on Cat's part, and I feel like it has a lot to do with why they lost in that series. Because I feel like there were little things that could have been done that could have swung the pendulum the other way, and a lot of it was Towns playing defense. And
Absolutely.
how do you call yourself a mm, a defensive minded coach or something? You're not holding a cat like that responsible, accountable.
Absolutely, bro.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. But I also think that you don't fire your coach that gets you to the conference finals unless you have somebody already lined up that you know can take you over the hump. You don't fire that coach and just have a coaching search. So
Right.
they better soon, like within the next couple of days, go ahead and hire their guy. Because if not, that is a problem. That is a problem with the New York Knicks front office if you
Hey,
have that happen.
I, you're
Days.
you're
You got
correct. You're
48 hours to hire a coach.
Yeah, you're correct on that. And but I want to say Satch Mo, that wasn't a overnight fire. That was a like they had that in their back pocket, like something that was you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't. I mean, you're in the you're in the Eastern Conference Finals, so I mean, it's that or bust at this point. I don't care who they bring in. It's that or bust. Like if you don't, you got to at least that's the minimum standard is the Eastern Conference Finals.
At this point, if you're gonna fire the guy that's been there 4 out of the last 5 years, I mean, a lot of media and a lot of people Satch are saying his lack of substitutions, his lack of running plays,
That
they contributed that to the fire. But my thing is, so financially, you what they cough up 30 million.
I think so. Yep.
I think they coughed up 30 million losing them. Like, why not have a talk about making adjustments? Why not make a talk about doing those things? And if he wasn't accommodable or going to modify, then maybe the fire. But I just think that, like you said, bro, who else you going to come in there outside? I mean, that Michael Malone has been brought up. He's from New York. That's been talked.
So I feel like at this point, that's who it's got to be, right?
And they're going after Jason Kidd, is what I'm hearing.
Jason Kidd not leaving that situation.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
You can hear whatever. Jason Kidd not leaving that
He's
situation.
not leaving that situation. Me personally, which this is my feelings, and I know it will never happen, I'm going for Mark Jackson. If I'm gonna go for someone, a wild card, just somebody that I know is gonna come in there and demand the locker room.
Right. I mean, but if you was gonna get Mark Jackson, you could have been got him.
Yeah, I know. The NBA's blackballed him.
So we know
Yeah,
he's off the table.
yeah.
It's gotta be Malone, man. We'll see.
We'll see.
And Malone is on the clock too. I mean, the Knicks are on the clock, and then after that, Malone gonna be on the clock. Because
Absolutely. But I want to piggyback you on the lack of defense on Cat. I want to also add to that the guy that I had behind me in the last segment, Brunson. As good as he is offensively, he was exposed on the other end. And you can't win a championship when your best two players are your worst two defensive players. And that's just a fact.
I could say I ain't gonna take it out west. But all right, man, I get it. I understand. Yep.
Yeah, fair.
But regardless of that, now we have the Indiana Pacers in the finals. We got OKC in the finals as we predicted. But we we have a matchup between two teams that are not big market teams. I don't want to call them small market teams, but not big market teams. A lot of people are talking about this is going to be the most boring NBA finals and talking about, the lack of star power and things like that. And I thought it was funny that the commissioner had a had a little answer back, and he said with a comparison to the NFL. First,
Okay,
you come with like that, you come talking about the NFL, you better come
correct.
right.
Correct.
I give it to him. Silver said, "Hey, don't come for me." And he said, "What about if it was the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl? People would be talking about it. People wouldn't be saying small market, small market." So I understand that. That makes sense. That makes sense. But that is the NFL, and it's one game,
And it's tradition.
and you pick teams that have historically been big names. They might be small markets as far as cities, but those are big names. Those are heavy hitters when you talk about the NFL.
Yeah, he should have used it. He should have used
He could have
two.
said Kansas City Chiefs was right on his plate, served up. He could have said Kansas City Chiefs versus whoever. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Tampa
no.
Bay.
What's that?
Tampa Bay or something.
Yeah, I mean, he could have
Like,
said a lot of different things, but don't pick the two of the most storied franchises in football. Come on, man. That lets me know you don't watch football, sir. Adam Silver, you don't watch football.
right. He was just speaking on the market, not the production. Because the Green Bay Packers just held the NFL draft there. What?
They had 3 times the amount of people in that town
Come on.
show up.
Come on. Yeah, you're right about that.
And
He didn't do his homework.
they handled it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of a fumble by Silver, but I respect him for at least speaking up and saying, I ain't going to let y'all just talk reckless about my league.
Well,
So
you
I
know,
respect him on that tip.
they've been going back and forth since the NFL trying to put NFL games on Christmas.
Ain't no
'Cause
shock. They did, and they took over. NFL
Right,
took Christmas, like the
but you
Grinch.
know what I'm saying
They
when
still
they
got the
did that.
Grinch mode on.
Yeah,
They
that's
stole
when
Christmas. They stole Christmas.
that's
The
when the
NFL
class.
stole
That's why
Christmas.
he's a little chippy. That's why Dr. Evil's chippy.
Right. Now, if I'm the NFL, I'm going to be straight Will Smith. Keep my name out your mouth.
Straight up.
That's what I do. I'll answer back.
Right. But look, hey,
Closely.
as we speaking on OKC and then moving on, I'm not gonna let a certain. I want to be certain how I don't let a guy off the hook, because when you're hot, but when you're not, you're not. And the way that Ant became Can't within a series is something to kind of pinpoint. I mean, I don't get me wrong. He's 23. He's a young rising star, and everybody got to learn how to win. So I'm not dogging the young fella, but there was a lot of speculation and talk about who he's beaten, what he's done, and what he's doing. But when he got with some talent and some guys that were athletic and young enough to get with him, his game became marginalized, and his game is like, we need to slow down on Ant on some of these accolades and what he is and what he's gonna be. That's all I wanted to state about that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of feel like you got it out for the guy, but
No,
it's
I'm
just
just saying,
the
like,
vibe I'm getting. Whatever.
he's doing better than a lot of young stars at this point, as far as exceeding and he's leading his franchise. I
Is it
give
because
him
he
that.
beat the Lakers? Is that why?
No, he
I
beat
just want
Kevin
to know
Durant.
what
He
you got
beat
it out. Let's
no,
just
no, no.
be real. Look, I mean, come on. Let's be honest, man.
He beat Kevin Durant them last year, and everybody's like, oh, he whooped on Durant. Then he whooped LeBron. It's like, but then those next rounds when he's going against youth, he kind of disappears a little bit.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I get that, but let's get on. I mean, let's be. I want you to be honest with me and
I'm
everybody
not in my
because
feelings.
we're
I'm
talking
not in
about
my
facts.
feelings.
Do you kind of have it out for the guy?
I think that as far as character wise, he's not my favorite. But I'm not gonna not hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not gonna judge him per how he plays on the court, big dog, because he's a great young prospect, and I'm not gonna allow my feelings to take away the fact that he is a top 5 young prospect in this league. I'm gonna put him in that category.
You want to separate the artist from the art?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
We
I'm
good. We good.
be honest, man, because I just when you talk about him, I just feel like a little bit of shade. I feel like some undertones of yeah, disgust almost when you talk about him. I just feel like you little kind of hating, but it's all right. It's
And
all
man,
right.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying the stats and the lack of play in those last 3-4 games, that was a little suspect, bro. Come on now. Him and Julius Randle. But the coach also got out coach too. Big ups to OKC's coach. First of all, and when I'm talking about big ups to OKC coach, big ups to B Right, stressing to the fact 2 or 3 segments ago that the teams that trust the bench
Why you see? That's the thing. You won't even let me big up you. Why you tooting your own horn, man? I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. But you want to bring it up? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying, man, I mean, listen. I'm not trying to, gloat, but I'm just saying, bro. I hate where this trajectory of, you know, playing 5, 6, 7. Well, it's college. Well, it's the pros, bro. Like, quit bringing these guys on the NIL. Quit bringing these guys on contract and not trusting and playing them. And that's just my big argument. It's not, there's guys out there that want to eat, that work hard every day, and you're trusted in your top three or your top five, respectively. And I just think that is something that organizations and coaches need to just observe as the culture changes within basketball, bro.
I was gonna lead you into that and allow you to be able to say all of that, but you had to relations be right. I will say you are right in that. You are right in that the teams that played the most players saw the most success.
Proceeded. Proceeded. You're right.
Or the deepest teams. So you say, hey, these teams they had their reserves were good enough that they could see the floor. And that's why they were better. I mean, there's a few different ways to look at it, but ultimately the teams that played the most players were the most successful. So yeah,
Who what's that on your hat? What's that say?
you know what it say. H time till I drunk.
Yeah. So you need to send this directly to your coach. Both of them. Both of them got a tight leash on the roster, dog.
All right. So Thursday, June 5th
Yeah.
at 7:30 Central. Game one, the NBA Finals will tip off. Pacers at Thunder. Um, Regardless of what people are saying, I think it's gonna be entertaining. I think it's gonna be an entertaining. Uh,
You think?
I think so, man.
No.
I don't see either one of these teams laying it down. I think both teams believe that they will win. I think they got to be hungry. They never won. How many guys on these rosters have rings? Like, I mean, I'm expecting a nice spectacle. I am. Um, I'm also expecting the Thunder to take it, win their first NBA Finals, doing what Kevin Durant and James Harden, Russell Westbrook could not do. And
Facts.
let's bring a trophy to Oklahoma.
Bro, let's talk about the legacy here upon whoever wins it. First and foremost, if the Pacers sneak it as they've been sneaking, look at what Rick Carlisle done did.
I mean, Rick Carlisle has already shown what he can do.
I know.
I mean,
I'm
we
not. I'm
we had to
saying.
know that,
I'm saying, but he becomes more on the level. He goes up a few notches. He passes like a Spoelstra. He passes like I don't know, a Rudy T. I don't know. I'm just saying. You got to put him up there when you can go from what he did in the West and beat that all those major teams, and then going in the East and season that, and then even going to the finals, we gonna give him his homage and his respect.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to win it all. I don't like those critics, these fans that feel like if you don't win it all, you're nothing. That old Ricky Bobby shenanigans, your first or last type bull. I respect champions and winning basketball, bro. But at the end of the day, Rick Carlisle winning it with this underrated, unappreciated team would be huge, bro.
Right. I mean, when has Rick Carlisle been on a team that was actually expected to be good?
Or to win it all.
Yeah, or win it
Right.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's always an underdog story, really, with them. So
Always. And I mean, and people don't understand that even though Indiana is like Indianapolis, dude, it's the Hoosier state. It's basketball state. It's like
Right.
every
Basketball, it's supposed to you know, that's something that's supposed to happen, you know.
yeah,
They're supposed to experience some success. Like that they needed
exactly.
that. They need that. You know what I mean? So
Hey, and speaking of that, I told you about when we was going back from H Town to Nap Town,
what's that?
H Town and Nap Town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nap Town. I think you're gonna give them a little bit more respect now, sir. With them going to the finals like they're doing, I try to
Yeah,
talk to you.
no, I mean I never disrespected them, did I?
You
You
didn't.
disrespected them?
You didn't. But when I was like Nap Town, H Town, you was like,
It's not the same.
it's not the same. But I mean,
Don't try to even say it's the same.
I didn't. But you just needed to be on some baby, put some respect on their name type ish. You know. The thing is though, as much as we talk about the city, this city's been a problem. Bro. Cleveland had a lot of injuries, but they smacked Cleveland. The Knicks were the favorite, and they took the first game and they took the series.
They team, they've been balling.
They've
Yes.
been balling.
Coaching. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything. They were everything. All they were as advertised invincible. Yes. All the team is much respect. They can win the NBA finals. They can. I'm not picking them to, but they definitely have a shot. I will say that. It's not a long shot. It's a shot. Uh,
And they're all nuts and guts. They're all nuts and guts. Like that's it.
yeah, I like the style of play. All of that. Anyway, I'm picking the Thunder to finish it off on Juneteenth.
Wow.
Thunder and
Is that
six.
five? Is that five or
Six. That's
six?
it. That's six. That's six.
It's a Saturday night in Naptown.
No, it's a Thursday night. But everybody off because it's Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. So yeah, while we barbecuing and all of that, fish fry, whatever you do, watch the Thunder take out the Pacers in Game 6. What you say?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Shea Gilchrist Alexander, the Williams kid, All Star, Shaq. That's their big three. And they have a plethora of guys that know their role and play hard. Dort, Caruso, Wiggins, um, Case and Wallace. I mean, bruh, they have the best. Yeah, I mean, Harkins. Like they're deep and they're talented.
A fan. Well, a fan.
Nah, I'm knowledgeable of good ball,
Yeah.
and you know, I just know the type of pedigree that and the culture that he's built over these years. And I think it's just the recipe of just being patient and just building, man, and just doing it their way. Because I mean, honestly, it's been a big three superstar kind of league the last what before the Celtics did it last year. The Warriors, had their big three, and everyone's had their big threes, and just pivotal pieces to win with. But now I think OKC, along with the Celtics last year, showing, man, you just got to spread that thing out and be as talented and as deep and as healthy as possible, and that's all you could ask for.
So I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Everybody is giving OKC this credit, Preston this credit. I give Preston some credit for having this team and building it naturally. They have no other choice. They had no other choice because this is how you win the small market team. You talk about big threes and all of that. You're not attracting a big three in OKC. You're not attracting that in Naptown. You're not doing that. So they have to do this is a choice. They're not getting free agents lining up to go there. Who will go there?
The kid from New York, the center, Harkenstein, he came there. Caruso came there. Those are pivotal pieces. Those are two free agents.
They're
And
role
then, and then
players.
they
Role
drafted.
players. They would never be a part of anybody's big three. What are you
and
talking
that's
about?
fine, and that's
No, but that's
fine.
all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. I said you can't do that big three. It's a different approach. It's a small market approach. It's the way you have to do it
They
when you're a
have
small
to.
market. You have to
Nah,
build through the draft. You have to sign those mid-level guys. You have to get to make a hit on a trade because you're not going to attract a big-time free agent there. That's all I'm saying.
absolutely, absolutely. No, I'm more disagreeing with that.
Okay.
I'm saying, you know, they did it the right way, and they got free agents. It ain't all just I mean, they drafted, and again, kudos to the biggest heist and the biggest robbery ever. Shea Gilgeous Alexander and all those draft picks for Paul George, who's no longer with the Clippers.
So yeah, it's. I mean, that's what it is. You got to flip it, and so that's been their philosophy. They've been taking on over ever since when Presley first got there, when he was 30-year-old GM, they gave him the reins at 30 years old. He realized like I can build this team and advance them by taking guys that have these contracts that people are trying to get off of, getting assets for them, and drafting well and building like that. And that's what they've done. And it's like, and then when they got an opportunity to let somebody go and get a haul for them, they will.
Do they do?
Yes, I mean that's what you. I mean that's he
Hey,
learned.
you
He
said a
copied.
good point, bro. They draft well, but I think they develop well too.
Yeah,
They develop their players well too. We don't want to miss
absolutely. You
that.
can't, yeah, you can't forget about that. You can't leave that part
Yes,
out. Absolutely.
because Dort, prime example. I say this to say that I want OKC to win, but I wouldn't be surprised that if Indianapolis took it to 7-1. Now, Indianapolis, it would have to go to 7 for them to win, and it's just to be a big feat to beat OKC in that arena. But I will say this one thing before this finals gets going, and this is the Be Right crystal ball here. If Indiana wins the first game or they win one game in OKC, I think they might win the series.
I mean, statistically, that's
No, no. I
happen.
mean, statistically, yes, but that's what they've been doing so far. They've beat every team the first game.
Well, we gonna see.
We gonna see.
Thursday, June 5th, seven
Yeah.
thirty Central. Tune in. Yeah, we'll check it out. Now I wanna I mentioned Preston getting that getting that GM job, as a young guy, getting behind him and really believing in him and his vision. And I wanted to draw some NFL comparisons and see if you feel like this is on the same track, if they're on the right track. Um uh Jacksonville Jaguars. They hired this young GM. What's his name? Gold. You know what I'm talking
I know what you're talking about. A young GM that got rid of everybody and hired Liam Cohen.
about. After him?
I think they
Yeah, they had Cohen first.
they had.
Then they got him.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure because Cohen. I think Cohen would not come with the other GM that they had.
But
He was
that's
like,
what I'm
I ain't fooling
saying.
with him, and so they got rid of him, and then Cohen signed, and then they got
Okay,
Gladstone. Gladstone. That's his name.
I knew it
Joe
had something to do
Gladstone.
with him coming or going because of him, but I don't know who got hired first. I will say this, bro. It all depends on how you and how not only you, but how much the Golden Boy does this year. There's no more pressure on any NFL quarterback than Trevor Lawrence.
Really?
I don't. But dude, there's a meme and a stat out that shows that Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones had almost identical stats, man. Their first, 30, 40 starts. And if you're going to do that to Daniel and then allow this guy to continue to have, the opportunity to keep building and have whatever around him, then, dog, it's time to look at him and say, okay, now, you know, Golden Boy, like you got the contract, you got the pieces around you, you got a new coach, a quarterback whisperer in Cohen. Like him and Caleb Williams, and I'd say that about Caleb on his second year, with all the excuses and all the he didn't get film help. But Caleb Williams, you got the quarterback whisperer, you got all the weapons around you and all season. They spent the 10th pick on a tight end for you, a safety blanket for you. So those two guys, bro, we'll come with a top 5 quarterback watch, but I'm putting those two in the top quarterback watches, bro, for this coming up year, bro, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And CJ Stroud's in it too.
Okay. What about JJ McCarthy? Because we talked about that the other day. Remember that?
Hell, he's at the top of the
Sam
ding
Darnold.
dang list.
Sam Darnold. What about him?
He's on it too.
Okay, then that's what I'm
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. I mean,
Russie. What about Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is gonna go home to Sierra Doll and them kids, and he done made his money. Whatever he does, I ain't mad at him. He's
But he
done.
gonna have Jackson Dart breathing down his neck. Yeah. And James gonna be praying for him all.
James is gonna be over eating W's and
Yeah.
listen. There's not a more interesting quarterback room than the Cleveland Browns.
What about the
Huh?
Browns quarterback room?
I said the Browns,
Oh, okay, yeah, Browns. You said Browns and then Giants.
Giants, but then the Steelers. Like Aaron Rodgers is still sitting back waiting on. I mean, dude, it's like they're trying to trade for Janu Smith right now and don't even have a quarterback. Like, make it make sense, Steelers. I just
And the quarterback that they got is over there on stage with
Trump.
repping with Trump. Yeah. So I mean, get what you get. Get what you get. Well, I see. I bet you he ain't gonna fool around in front of Myles Garrett though.
Come on, bro. There's a lot of shakiness going on right now in the OTAs with positions and players and organizations. And if you're a fan of of any of these teams, you're quite upset right now, bro. You know when the mishandle has been mishandled at this point, right?
Yep, you do. You do. And being a fan of a team that mishandled some things for quite some time, uh, I feel for all those fans of those teams, and I know I feel your pain. But I'm gonna tell you, there's light at the. It will be a better day someday, unless you maybe like a Cleveland Browns fan. There's gonna be a better day someday. You'll get there.
You know we're gonna have some Cleveland Brown fans on there, right?
That's cool. I mean, and they will be the first to tell you. I know Cleveland Brown fans. They don't have any confidence in their team. They're going to root for them still, but they don't have confidence in their team making the right decisions to get them to the promised land. They don't.
Everything works itself out. I mean, getting D'Amico, and then getting CJ and Will Anderson in the same year was probably one of the most underrated GM slash coaching slash draft pick moves in NFL history. And even though it's only been
Didn't even get mentioned to be GM of the year, executive of the year. Come on, man. Come on, man. That was the biggest robbery of the NFL season that season. He should have gotten that. And everybody knows it. Come on, man.
I just want you to
When you
know
pick
that
the
you're
offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year and the second place vote getter for coach of the year, get out of here, man.
hey, you're fired up, man.
Get out of here, man. But that's how it is. Because there's a lot of people that hate the Texans. For whatever reason, they line up to hate on the Texans. That's fine. I'm okay with being hated on because you know what? When we win, it's gonna make it that much sweeter.
And you know what? I'm agreeing with you, and I know what it's like to be hate. I know what it's like to be hated, and that dang on tush push. They hated on us, dog. They
Yeah,
try to
that's
get
foul. That's foul. Yeah, Green Bay started it, so
and a bunch of Packers. You know what I want to call them?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, are you serious? Like, I mean, the fact that you can't stop a play, you want to try to take it away. Like, really, bro? Like, that is
I'm not gonna
so.
blame. I'm not gonna blame the Packers fans. I'm not gonna blame the fans. The fans. I don't think the fans got anything to do with it.
They
It's
don't.
the front office. It's the organization, and that's foul. And that's foul.
Soft.
And if you're a fan and you don't call that out and say that was foul, then you part of the problem too.
Come on, you soft.
That's foul.
Soft.
That's
Yeah,
foul.
it
I ain't
is.
an Eagles fan, but I sure don't don't want to be hating on the team and trying to take away what they do good because you can't stop it or you can't do it yourself.
All right. And
You
no one's been hurt on the move, Sashmo. No one's
know about
been
that. It's not about that.
injured.
It's not about that.
I'm just saying if people were getting injured, I could say, it's a dirty play. People getting hurt, like they might need to take it away. But outside of getting injured, bro, like get over it, bro.
There's no explanation.
There's
There's no
none.
reasonable explanation except for saying it's boring. It's not. It's not good for the popularity of the game. I mean,
Right. Soft.
yeah, man. Anything that you see that stands out to you after OTAs or during OTAs, things what you've seen so far that stands out to you?
I mean, bro, outside of, what we talked about, Donald's new team coming out to say that he's the starter, definitely. Well, that's only because he's had some poor performances. And so I think that's why I'm saying, even though you were right about one thing, I don't know if just anybody can come in and do what that's been done in Minnesota. So we're going to see. But I mean, that organization trying to figure out what running back they're going to have. That Kenneth Walker's still the guy, but they're liking Zach. I mean, it's just a lot of
That's a good
competition is
problem.
always fun.
With the running back, that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have. But Cooper Cup's 31. Uh, Jackson Smith Bigwa did well, but that's because Metcalf was out there guarding a lot of attention. They're just a big question mark. And honestly, when I look at that division, I think it's the Los Angeles Rams' division to win at this point.
And my team has to play all of those teams in that division. And I will
I
tell you,
know.
I feel better about playing Seattle this year than I would have the team that they had on the field last year.
Last year. Yeah, I agree. I think Gino is disrespected as far as what he did, as far as just being consistent.
Yeah, I think everybody that really knows football knows that San Francisco is something that's hard to handle. Like I don't think anybody's sleeping on the 49ers. I don't think that.
I think they are. I think
No,
people writing them off, man. They got rid of Debo.
I hadn't heard nobody sleeping on them.
I mean, you don't hear a lot of.
I know Houston, take the Texans show sleep.
It's one of those seasons where if you look at everyone and how everyone looked, it's hard not to compare what you did last year and what you were before. You're like just your culture, your organization. But every year is different. If you've been hearing a lot, man, but the Rams, they've been getting a lot of buzz for making a run at the NFC title, and like because they gave the Eagles the toughest game. They got Devontae Adams in the offseason. So,
Yeah,
I'm
respectful,
I'm I'm
respectable.
hearing a lot of good things out of their OTAs and stuff. But um, I would like to talk about your Texans as far as your quarterback and his little shoulder injury. Is that something that you're concerned about, or is it just precautionary?
Well, I would tell you, being a Houston sports fan, anytime somebody gets hurt or comes up a little gimpy or is out, and the team says it's nothing to worry about,
It's
we
something wrong.
all worry. We all worry. Our linebacker, Christian, what was that about? Like, I mean, it's time after time. Like they downplay these injuries, um, and then we come to find out that we have guys, significant role players, significant guys that we're depending on, missing significant amounts of time. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
The
But
linebacker from
yeah,
Alabama,
Harris. Yeah,
he had a nice first season, and I mean, you never saw him again. I'm like, what?
yeah. I was at the practice when he got hurt, and then after that, you didn't see him again. But they act like he was coming back, like he was right on the way. But
I mean, well, look, man, you got those young wide receivers you drafted second and third round. CJ has got to get rolling. I'm looking for Nico to be a top 5 wide receiver again, and I'm looking for Christian Kirk to come and have a bounce back season. Like I really do. I really do. Christian Kirk was never bad before he got hurt. He kept the Jags consistent, and I think if anything, we may have seen the last of Tank Dell.
I wouldn't be surprised
I
after
mean,
the injury.
yeah, I mean
I wouldn't be.
that, and
I
I
hope
think
not.
Kirk is
I hope
gonna.
not for the guy. Even beyond being a Texan, I just hope not for the man. Talk about being dealt a tough hand, one thing after another with this man.
Right, right.
I hope he's able to have this redemption story, and I hope that it happens in Houston. I don't
Amen.
want to see him go somewhere else and then
And
have
shine.
yeah, because it goes together. He should do this in Houston. Where he went to college at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the kid. I hope he gets a second shot. I'm just saying, I see with them drafting behind them in two positions and getting Kirk. I just think, that's three.
Something to buy some time until he's well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's get a veteran and buy some time until he gets well, and then go from there. It's crowded in that receiver room.
It is cornerback room, wide receiver room, crowded. Yeah, yeah.
How many teams are you fans of, man?
What do you mean, brother?
How many teams do you have?
Per what? Like only have
Per
only
per, per month? Per day? Per what?
per your ass. Listen, man. Listen. I'm a
Per
cane
podcast. How many teams per podcast?
per podcast.
3 teams per podcast maximum.
Hey,
You got
man.
OKC, you got Kentucky, you got Miami, you got New York, you got the Eagles, the Lakers.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Who else we got?
There's a difference between rooting and being a fan. You gotta separate the two, brother. You gotta separate them. But nah, man, I feel like that it's gonna be an interesting season to see how these NFL GMs and scouts and coaches got it wrong with the off-season acquisitions. Because I just feel like it was a lot of moves that were made, or not enough moves that were made here and there, and you're gonna see the same results. I've been hearing a lot of hoopla about this is for our fantasy lovers out there to give you a little nugget. I've been hearing Keon Coleman has got off the blocks better. He's gotten stronger, and he is dogging rookies, first round rookies, vets, having his way up there in Buffalo right now. That's been one of the biggest buzzes I've been hearing as far as the OTAs and guys trying to merge in their second year. And I mean, they drafted in the first round, bro.
Yeah, I
Um,
like him too. I think he got a good story. I like the guy. Hopefully he does have some success. Not against the Texans, but hopefully he has some success. In this season. So yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the football season. More immediately, looking forward to this NBA Finals. Let's see. We got a couple of games that we'll have until we see each other again. But I think when we see each other again, it's going to be 2-0 Thunder, and the Pacers will be in a pretty much a must-win type of situation. And we'll talk about it.
for sure, for sure. Well, no, hey, again, as long as the Pacers don't win one early, I think OKC's in good shape, brother.
All right, all right.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Until next time, brother. It's been good as always. See y'all. Get on social media. Leave those comments, man. Everybody, if you feel like you would rather be in Naptown over any other place in this country, I want you to chime in on social media because I want to hear from you. I want to hear your explanation, your reasons why you say that Indianapolis is better than the rest of the country. Because B Right thinks that there's some of y'all out there, and I know it's not. I know it's not.
Naptown, H-Town, Naptown, H-Town.
I'm not even gonna pitch you against H Town. I just said any. I'm like, that's not even fair to put y'all against H Town. Just any. Yeah. Why is it the best in your opinion?
Hey,
What
I
about
have
traditional
nothing to do
taco?
with this.
What?
I have nothing to do with this Naptown.
Be right, set y'all up. He the one who did it. He had everything to do with it. He set y'all up. So
Yes, sir.
just saying. Yeah, man. See y'all.
All right, one love, baby.
Mhm.